Hello, my creative guys. Today I wanted to talk with you about something that is on my mind for a long time. We're gonna talk about perfectionism that actually is quietly killing our creativity. Have you ever spent hours working on a painting only to stare at it afterward and see nothing but flaws? Maybe you have even stopped yourself from creating altogether because you were convinced that it wasn't good enough. That people would notice every mistake, every awkward brushstroke, every little imperfection. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Perfectionism is one of the biggest struggles artists face. And the frustrating part is that it doesn't make us better artists, it often makes us create less. Our sketchbooks stay empty, our canvases stay blank. Ideas remain ideas because we are too afraid they won't turn out exactly the way we imagined. The strange thing is, perfectionism feels productive. It convinces us that we are simply waiting until we are ready, that we are improving our skills, that we are holding ourselves to high standards. But most of the time, it's just fear wearing a very convincing disguise. Here's something I realized over the years. As artists, we know every tiny detail of our work because we witnessed the entire process. We know where the brush slipped. We know which color wasn't exactly what we imagined. We know that the composition looked better in our head. We remembered every correction, every erased line, every moment of frustration. So when we look at our finished artwork, we don't actually see the painting. We see the entire history of everything that went wrong. But everyone else, they don't have that history. They only see the final image. Their eyes don't automatically jump to the tiny mistake in the corner because they don't know it's there. Instead, they see the colors, the atmosphere, the emotion, the story. They experience the artwork as a whole, and that's a huge difference. Our brains are incredibly good at magnifying imperfections that nobody else would ever notice. It's almost like having a spotlight that only shines on our mistakes. Meanwhile, everyone else is looking at the entire stage. This reminds me of something from another part of my life. Before I became a full time artist, I was a professional musician and pianist. During years of music school and music college, my teachers repeated one lesson over and over again. If you make a mistake while performing, keep going. Don't stop. Don't make a face. Don't sigh. Don't pause. Don't apologize with your expression. Nothing should reveal that you made a mistake. At first, that advice seemed strange. Wouldn't people hear the mistake anyway? But then I realized something fascinating. Most people don't know the piece well enough to notice. They simply enjoy the performance. If you continue playing confidently, they move on with you. The music keeps flowing. The moment disappears. Only someone who knows the piece inside and out might recognize the mistake. And if they do, they're usually not judging you. More often, they're impressed by your composure. Because staying calm after making a mistake is a skill in itself. I think painting works exactly the same way. We often point out our audience toward imperfections without realizing it. We hesitate before posting. We apologize in the caption. We say things like, I know that anatomy isn't perfect. I rushed the background. I messed up the lighting. Why? Because we assume everyone is looking at exactly the same flaws we see. But they aren't. Most people simply see a beautiful piece of art. Sometimes the very brushstroke you dislike is the one someone else loves. Sometimes the colors you almost painted over became the reason someone feels connected to your work. Art isn't a math education. It's not about getting every answer exactly right. It's about making people feel something, and emotions aren't perfect. Neither are people. So why should art be? I truly believe that perfection is one of creativity's biggest illusions. The more we chase it, the further creativity runs away. But when we allow ourselves to create imperfectly, we experiment more, we learn faster, we enjoy the process again, and ironically, that's usually when our work starts improving the most. Because improvement doesn't come from waiting until we are perfect. It comes from creating again and again. Every painting teaches you something the previous one couldn't. Every finished piece builds confidence. Every mistake becomes experience. If we never allow ourselves to make imperfect art, we also never allow ourselves to become better artists. So, the next time you're about to abandon a painting because it isn't exactly what you imagined, ask yourself one simple question. Am I seeing the artwork? Or am I only seeing the mistakes because I know where they are? There's a good chance your audience will experience something completely different. They will see beauty where you see flaws, emotion where you see imperfections, a finished piece where you still see the process. And maybe that's exactly what makes art so magical. So, now I would love to hear from you. What's one mistake in your artwork that nobody else seemed to notice, but you couldn't stop thinking about? Share your story in the comments. I have a feeling many of us have been carrying around the exact same invisible imperfections. This work, what I'm creating, actually, it's about the same stuff. I was so, I was thinking too much about perfect sketch with perfect lines, with no perfections, and I forgot how to be free when you're creating. Free and playful. I don't feel the freedom again because I'm too afraid to use different colors or materials or techniques because it looks like it don't fit here. But actually, art should be fun. Creation should be a funny thing when you feel like you have wings and you do everything what comes to your mind. Using different materials, playing with colors and shapes, adding something because you just want it. So here I'm using watercolors for the background, and then as you can see, I add color with color pencils. And unfortunately, I haven't shown you that after that, I just took my Posca pens and add chaotic lines and shapes just because it was fun. It was really fun to do this. And I think that this kind of sketch is getting more alive and playful and more colorful. I really hope that you're gonna like it. Later, I will show you some materials I have used, some Posca pens afterwards, and also some colored pencils. Anyway, I would like to see your comments in comment section below. You can share whatever you want, and of course don't forget to subscribe my channel, because it's very important to create something new and more. Thank you for your attention.